Now that we've got our meteor set up, let's go ahead and create a spawn manager to where we can manage where the meteors spawn so that they can fall straight down. Okay, so start by creating what's called an empty game object called spawn manager. The advantage to creating empty game objects is they're useful for when you want to group a set of like game objects, or if you want to just add some logic from a script into the game, but not necessarily attach it to any specific game object. So with this spawn manager, we're going to go ahead and create a script also called spawn manager. And from here, we'll attach it to that empty game object. In our spawn manager, we'll add this bit of code, starting with a public game object for our meteor prefab. Next, in the start menu, we're going to use one of the invoke methods. Invoke by itself just means for us to schedule for something to happen after a certain amount of time. So since we want our meteors to repeatedly spawn, we're going to call for invoke repeating. The parameters inside of here start with the name of the method that you want to call, then how much time you want to wait before you call it the first time, then the rate at which you want it to repeat after that. Now, in order for us to actually call this method called spawn meteors, we got to actually create it. Go ahead and remove update and replace it with void spawn meteors. Next, we're going to set up a variable to represent the minimum and the maximum X value where we want our meteors to spawn using random range. And then lastly, let's instantiate or clone that meteor prefab, giving it a new vector 2 position, which includes that random X value along with a set Y value. As for our rotation, we'll set it to quaternion.identity so that there is none. All right, so back at the spawn manager, once we have saved that script, now you'll see that there's a variable for the meteor prefab, which will drag right into that slot. And then when we hit play, we should see those meteors fall in random positions anywhere from -7 all the way to +7. Now, at any point, if you feel like your meteors are falling either too fast or too slow, don't forget that on the meteor prefab, you can edit how fast it goes. So I think originally it was set to 10, which you'll see is pretty fast. So adjust that to your liking.